Okay, I was born in Colombia. I born in Bogota, that is the capital city. In my opinion, we never lived bad over there. Like I went to a private school my whole life, but my dad has been always dreaming with the American dream to have a better quality of life. My dad, he has a sister. She went to Canada to do her master. She met her boyfriend and he's American. They fall in love and both of them they came here and they got married. When you married an American person, you only have to wait 3 years in order to be able to apply for the citizenship. So my aunt applied for the citizenship. She got it. When you become a citizen, one of the benefits that you have is to sponsor your family to come over. So my aunt asked them who was interested to come over. So my dad and my mom, they say like, yeah, we would like to, start the process to know, like to try it. I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old. This is a great opportunity so I could finish high school here and maybe to go to college here. So we submitted the papers. We never got an answer. So they thought, it didn't work. So we basically live our lives over there. I went to school over there. I finished high school. In the year of 2016, so almost like 13, 15 years later, we got a letter that said that all the paperwork that we submitted in the past was approved to go for the next step. We talk about it and we say like, okay, yeah, we can try it. And it took like another year and they say, okay, everything looks good, you're gonna have an interview. And I think at this point I was 20 years old. My birthday is in September and we had the interview in December. We had a fear because when you become 21, you are adult and I would lose the process. We went to the interview, we answered some questions, and they say, yeah, okay, we get a visa at the beginning. And we were so happy. And I mean, how we were gonna do now? We were planning maybe to move in around a year. We take a look at the visa and the visa expired in March. So we were like, oh, it needs to be soon. That's what we were planning. So we decided to come over the first time in February 2017. We came over for my mom and I for 2 weeks in February, and we decided that my dad was gonna stay to settle up. One of the mistakes that we make at that time is that we try to find a job here how we would do it back in my country. A co-worker of my aunt was in a church and someone in the church was working with electric work, so they got in contact and my dad got a job with them as an electrician. So by the time we came back for good in July, he was the only one working. My mom and I went to downtown. We went walking every single hotel we found, asking like, oh yes, I'm looking for a job. Hardest part that when we were doing that is that when they look at you, the first job that they offered me was housekeeping. I felt that I did my whole career in the hotel and tourist management. I was offered a position in human resources in the JW hotel over there in Bogota, and I had to turn them down because I was coming here. We ended up being like kind of desperate. My dad is the only one that is working. Like now we are 3 here, so we need to do something to help out. We're gonna start in housekeeping. I respect all the jobs, but personally, I never saw myself doing that. At the beginning was really hard because I thought my English wasn't bad. Well, when I got here, it was bad. It is really hard when you realize how important is communication. I met someone working in the hotel and I told him about that I wanted to improve my English. He told me like, look, check this place, Nashville Adult Literacy Council. We told them like, we are interested to become citizens. They say like, we used to have the class, but we don't have it anymore. But this place, they do have the class. So they gave me Joy's phone number. We went there and we all three took the test. Afterwards, they said like, yeah, you're ready, you're eligible to take the class. So we just needed to get the books. It was amazing. I really admire him. He knows a lot, and the class was like really, really helpful. For me, the biggest help of the class was going through the civic book and all, like knowing the questions, the way that it's prepared. For my mom and my dad, the big help was to have that one-to-one class. You can tell the person like, what do you want to practice? It helps you with the listening, to be able to understand what they're asking. So from the beginning, the first goal was like, we want to be citizens. When you have the green card, you need to wait 5 years. The opportunity to be here and not be able and not become a citizen is like, it's something incomplete. I feel that if you're gonna do something, you need to do it right, you need to do it big. As soon as we get the time, we need to apply for the citizenship, because it comes with different benefits, like you've become part of the country. My mom and I applied together at the same time, so we got the appointment on the same day. When you do the check-in process, they take your fingerprint, they take your picture, and they give you a number. When the officer comes, you go with him. They start with well, in my case was with the N400. They ask you up to 10 questions, but if you answer the first 6 correct, you pass the test. So after my 6th one, he said like, okay, you passed the test. We had the ceremony on the same day. It was only like 10 or 15 people in the room, plus the officer that was doing the oath. It's awesome. It's really nice, and like we were so happy to be able to apply for the passport. We still have most of our family back in Colombia. With the passport, you can leave the country without having to worry that you're gonna lose the green card. So you don't have to worry about that now. It was scary at the beginning, but it was really nice. Like Joy helped me with when we got the citizenship. He gave me a paper so I could register. So we registered with my mom. At the time of the elections, we did the early voting. So we went to a library. We were so scared because we didn't know how it worked. And then my mom, my mom is very shy. I'm shy too, but she was like, tell the lady that it's our first time. I'm like, no. So I had to tell her like, hey, we've never done this before. So, and she was like, oh, it's your first time, come here. And she was so happy. And she explained us how it worked, so I explained my mom, and then we were going to the machine, because okay, in my country everything is paper, so this was very different for us. The lady like told everybody like, it's our first time, and everybody was clapping and yelling. We were like, thank you. So it is really nice. Like I say, it's that feeling that now you are like part of a community. You know, it's always been really nice to be here, but the right to vote is like, yeah, you feel that you now kind of count. So it was really nice. I started in housekeeping, in the laundry. I met the AGM of the hotel. He gave me the opportunity to go to the breakfast. My supervisor, he was an English speaker, so following instructions in English, it was kind of hard at the beginning. He was really nice, friendly. He would be like, oh, I would do it myself. And I was like, no, you tell me what it is and I can do it. I know I can do it. Then I got more fluent. I went to work in a bistro. This job specifically helped me a lot with my English. My goal was to do the front desk. When I felt confident and secure that I wanted to take the next step, I applied in the tri-brand property in downtown. The GM called me and said like, hey, we got your application. We would like to have an interview with you. He's from Peru. He's in a GM in a tri-brand property, so that fit my dreams. He was like, oh, we're needing people in breakfast. I'm like, no, I'm looking to move to the front desk. So they were like, okay, you can do front desk. It turns out that I was good at it. A few months later, they opened a position for supervisor. I got the position. I feel like I'm really, really working towards my dream. My most recent step, they opened an assistant manager position. I applied for it. I got the position. At this point, I'm so happy because moving out of your comfort zone, it's really hard, or at least it was for me.